Hey guys, it's me, Sujoy over here. So I decided to make this quick video. I just came across this article about the Vietnam public employees. Why they're earning way less compared to other Southeast Asian countries such as Thailand, Malaysia, and Cambodia. Okay, so I'm going to share that article link down in the description below. So it's right now nighttime, and I decided to, just enjoying my Friday night alone. I'm just going to watch some Netflix after this. I just thought that this article was a bit interesting because, when we are talking about public employees, we're also talking about Vietnamese teachers teaching in public schools and government schools. Now, when I used to teach in Vietnam for 3.5 years, I've taught many government schools. I never taught international schools, but I'm going to be sharing a couple of my experiences and what I feel is really right. And definitely I also as a foreign teacher, as a foreign teacher out here in Vietnam, I also agree with the fact that the Vietnamese teachers, the teaching assistants, who work in these public schools, and even a couple of these private centers here in Vietnam, they get way less. Their salaries are way less. So I'm just going to be, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts about that. So let me just quickly go through this article over here. I'll just keep my laptop out here. Vietnam's public employees earn way less than their Southeast Asian peers. The statistics show that the average income of public employees in Vietnam is 10 million Vietnam dong, compared to 56.7 million, 29 million, and 17 million Vietnam dong, which is in Thailand, Malaysia, and Cambodia, respectively. Okay, so I think the government is trying to propose to to increase the wages of these public employees, which I think is really required, and I'm going to share my experience why that needs to be done. So statistics show that the average income of a public employee in Vietnam is 10 million. Like I said, again, compared to other Southeast Asian countries like Thailand, Malaysia and Cambodia, where they get way high. And yeah, of course, Cambodia, I'm pretty sure, because the currency out there, everything is in US dollars. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit surprising that even in Cambodia, like the public employees, the teachers over there, the teaching assistants, they get way higher compared to the Vietnamese teachers over here and the teaching assistants. Okay. Uh, Noting that a fresh graduate working for a public sector earns just a little more than 3.4, 3.5 million Vietnam dong a month, which is really shocking. That's National Assembly's Finance and Budget Committee. Okay. Quote, our country does not lack talented people, which is true. And, I'm going to pitch in, regarding what I really think about the Vietnamese teachers and the teaching assistants after I complete this article. So we do not lack enthusiastic people who want to contribute, but we need better policies to create motivation for employees. According to the Ministry of Home Affairs, in 2019, the number of people entitled to salaries and allowances from the state budget, including social protection beneficiaries, was about 11 million. So, about them, 2.8 million are civil servants, and public employees receive salaries and allowances from state budget. Um All right, so I'm going to share this. I'm going to share this article. I'm going to keep the link down in the description below. So coming back to what I really wanted to say is that I mean, I've been teaching over here for 3.5 years. I've taught many public schools over here in Vietnam, in Saigon, especially. I've taught at Govap District, Thao Duc, Hoc Mon, and other locations in Ho Chi Minh, all government schools. It's a bit, we always, although I always had this communication with my expat fellow teachers, and they would always tell me that like the Vietnamese teachers, the teaching assistants, they get way lower salary because, like, I remember when I used to teach in public schools, my my monthly salary, I mean, I'm not going to be talking about how much I would be getting per hour, but my monthly salary would be averagely between 25 to sometimes 35 million per month. So averagely I would be getting around 27 to 35 million Vietnam dongs per month. Whereas a Vietnamese teacher, and they're very, and I must say they're very proficient, they're very professional, and like when they are actually explaining in the classroom, their writings and everything is so professional. And it's so sad to see that these Vietnamese teachers, their salaries are like not even 10 million per month. And of course there is this kind of a jealousy factor from their point of view that these are foreign teachers coming and teaching, and they're getting like two times more our salary. And come to think about it is that these are all public servants. I mean, they are most of the time in the school. Okay, so they're working constantly, like from morning to evening. So like they start at 7:30 in the morning, and they're all in the school till 4:30. Whereas like foreign teachers, maybe we just take 2 3 classes in the morning, go home, relax, refresh, and then come back in the afternoon, take one class or two class, or sometimes just but you know it's sad. It's a sad reality, and it's always there. And I mean, I was always fed this information as a teacher here in Vietnam, that as a foreign teacher here in Vietnam, is that the Vietnamese teachers, like the female teachers, and like even the male Vietnamese teachers, they get way less salary. And it's a sad reality because like they have kids to feed, and like they have family members. And I've even heard these kind of stories, like like the salary of a female Vietnamese teacher is less, and she has to do some part-time jobs, or she has to do some odd jobs, to suffice her income. And it's nothing new, because like I remember a long time back, many years back, like when I was very new in my teaching, and when I was like when I was like a full-time teacher here in Vietnam, like when I was in that teaching era. I remember, I met many Vietnam, when I was like, when I used to communicate, like maybe, just, network with some Vietnamese people on Zalo, or, maybe some dating apps and all that. Some of them were teachers, and, they always complained that, they always said that, my salary is so less, and I have to work so hard in the school. And it's a sad reality, because they have to do some odd jobs, and I've even heard some horror stories, like like of a Vietnamese teaching assistant. She has to. I'm not going to talk about that. I don't think I don't want to talk about that on YouTube, but I know about this. I know a couple of these stories, where a few of these Vietnamese female teaching assistants, and teachers who were in this who used to who were teaching in these international schools and all that. But I don't want to talk about that. I don't think that's right. But like the main point over here, what I'm trying to talk about, what I'm trying to convey is, as a teacher, here in Vietnam, I would like to see that, like the salaries for the teaching assistants, and I think that makes a lot of sense, because the salaries of the teaching assistants is so low, that they don't want to focus on helping a foreign teacher. What I'm trying to say is that if they get a proper decent salary, of course they feel like they need to perform their jobs well. Talking about the teaching assistant, because most of the time we foreign teachers, we know that if we're being assigned to a class where there are 50 students, the TA, most of the time she'll just sit at the back of the class, and she'll be just working on the file, or she will be not assisting much. And that kind of figures a bit, because I feel like maybe they're not getting that kind of money. Maybe they're just getting 5 million Vietnam dongs, or maybe 3.5 million Vietnam dong per month. And they just they don't give a fuck about it right now anymore. But what I'm trying to say is that if it's time that the salaries of the Vietnamese teachers and even the teaching assistants, it definitely needs to increase. Because we always had this perception that foreign teachers need to get more compared to Vietnamese teachers. As a professional teacher, I have definitely seen Vietnamese teachers. They, like a couple of Vietnamese female teachers in these public schools. They speak English very well. They have very good English handwritings when they write on the board. I've seen, to be honest with you, when I write on the board with, on with the chalk, my handwriting sucks. And I've also seen other expat teachers, they just write a few words, or, this and that, but at the end of the day, they get a fat salary. And we get a fat salary. It's time that, like the Vietnamese teachers, and even, they start getting kind of equal, they start getting the equal salary what a native teacher is getting over here. Let there be a balance. I don't see a point why there should be this kind of a pay scale discrimination. So I think it's going in the right direction right now, and I'm very happy that it's been recognized. And like I really thought that I needed to share this message and this video with you as an experienced teacher, because I've always known about this for many years, that the salaries of the Vietnamese teachers and teaching assistants are way low. And they're, most of the time they have to work so hard in the school. And so yeah. And of course, the final thing which I would also like to add is that improving the classroom conditions. Like I've been to, I just came back from Thailand. I've been to a couple of international schools in Bangkok, and they're way better. Like complete aircon classrooms with glasses, and very good facilities. So yeah, that should be incorporated a bit over here for the public schools here in Vietnam, with with state of the art, computers, touch screens, and everything. Instead of just stuffing in 50 students in a cramped up classroom, where the teachers are sweating around and the ventilation is not there, and a very stressful environment. And of course, I'm not very supportive of the fact that foreign teachers need to finish a class for 45 minutes and then immediately transfer to another class and do 45 minutes. So there should be some kind of a mini break. So I'm going to make a video on that later, but I just wanted to share my thoughts about this. So you guys have a great weekend. This was me, Sujoy, and have a blast. Grab some beers and enjoy your Friday night. Okay, peace out.